Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's Sunday morning. It's about 5 minutes before 9 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time, on the 9th of March, 2025. A couple of days back, we have our independents having a conniption fit concerning about what is sparking up old trash bag in the office. And he wants to have MSNBC basically cut down to its most popular commentators out there because he doesn't like them and their opinions. For a man who's supposed to be for free speech, he doesn't. Guy from Breitbart, one of the independents out there who's trying to gain more and more traction by spewing more and more non-truth to anybody. He got Trump's attention. Trump's liking it, and he's praising him. And then he attacks MSNBC. A word over to the corporate owners and letting them know that MSNBC may be on termination. On termination hunt. Maddow's got a lot of followers. She's had it for years. And she's a mainstay out there. There's not that many top talent that they can get on MSNBC and keep on there. Maddow's been on there and getting people left and right. So she's being targeted. There was another person being targeted at the same time. It's just going nuts at this point. There was also Nicole Wallace was also another one from MSNBC. Trump doesn't want any naysayers. He doesn't want anybody criticizing it. He doesn't want to criticize him or anything else. He wants yes people on a constant basis. He needs that ego fed all the time. He wants yes people around him all the time. They're going to get it done. They're going to get it done. They're going to say, yes, 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 we will. Sycophants galore. Meanwhile, the independents are saying to him, if they happen to say anything detrimental in the press office, they're gone. And he's probably going to say a word to the billionaires who own the News Corps out there. I can't stand these people. They got to play ball with me. One of these here days, these billionaires have got to say to Trump. Then what's he going to do? We're talking about a billionaire boy club here. All those people that got the rich money and they can play off of people's miseries left and right. Go on stomping on people left and right. They use religion and they use government at the same time. From one of the independents was saying, Trump doesn't care about the Constitution. He only cares about himself. If he's taking the jet again down to Mar-a-Lago to play golf and have a weekend, doing the same thing he did in 2016 when he won. On taxpayers' dime, he spends hundreds of thousands of dollars for security, jet, fuel, and steals time from people. Time to get things done, contracts signed, negotiations going on, trying to solve problems. He didn't care. He's got money. He got power. He don't care. All we got is what we've got. Limited access and gripe boxes. That's all. That's all we got. And they'll try to prove their point that they're doing it with the Constitution, but they're not doing it against. They're doing it against the Constitution. They're violating it left and right. When you have freedom of speech being stifled left and right, when you have reporters and news corporations gone after, we have to change the opinion to this particular point of view. Otherwise what? Otherwise, you're out of here. Fine, we'll just find something independent to bitch about. You can't do that. I own that one too. I bet you it is. How many of the independent platforms out there are owned? We are on limited time, you and me. Not by watching the videos, but by our government, our system, our way of life, our understanding about history, because that's being torn apart. It was already announced a while ago that DEI programs were on the attack left and right. Well, anything regarding DEI is being removed. Government offices that actually keep military records of what we've done from 1776 roughly to our current status. Anything regarding DEI is under attack in the government systems. Historical documents, images, people who have made a difference in our history wiped out because of fetishes and fantasies and insanity. And boys and girls, you voted this shit in. What are you going to do about it? Even the red states are going a little up arms, but not much. No, I don't see it. And when they get their benefits cut, in every which way, when they get their freedoms cut, how are they going to react? What are they going to do? Or are they just going to sleep it off? So I said 1776 and 1860. What does it mean to you? You understand the history, unless you actually have a textbook to read about them that hasn't been taken away and burned. Are we into the Fahrenheit 451 situation, boys and girls? Or are you going to allow that to happen too? Are you going to be into the 1984, the Orwellian dystopia yet? Where everything gets wiped out. History, knowledge, experiences. We're all robotic. Nothing matters anymore. This is the reason why I read books. To remember to learn. As a young man, journeys like crazy. But now, these days, I have to hold on to it. Hold on to the lessons and memories that the other writers before me had written. And that's the problem concerning about tyrants. They don't want people to remember. They only want the garbage they spew out. Trump and the Trumplicans have been doing that. They said they want to make America great. Well, try this. They go into countries where our American national anthem is displayed, and the country in that territory are cursing us. It's one thing to burn the American flag in other people's territories. I'm expecting that to happen here. America's flag to be burned. I'm expecting it. If they can boo us from other countries and burn our flags, why not here? At a wrestling match in another place, The national anthem was booed. Actually, there was a wrestling match happening out in Canada. World Wrestling Entertainment was out there. And while you had someone out there singing proudly of our national anthem and with the American flag, the Canadians were up in an uproar. So much for respecting us. In England, people don't like us over there either. Try this one. Mexico is enforcing strongly visa requirements and questionnaires to be signed. This is not like where you can go up to the border and pass through with your ID and Social Security card or just a passport. No, we want more. And what's going to take a long time to get through the borders by car and by human. Mexico's pissed off at Trump and America allowing Trump in. I don't blame them. We're restricting ourselves. We're dumbing ourselves up. We claim it's for religion. We claim it's this and that. We think it's constitutional when it isn't. Clearly isn't. The other countries who are our allies have a better idea what our Constitution is than we do. And we have allowed it to happen to this point, and still do. There have been suggestions that we try to do the economic. Did it work? Is it going to work? Certain days we can't go through these programs and products. We got to hurt them in the pocketbook. That's one way of doing it. We've got a continuing resolution coming up in Congress. There are some programs in there that the Democrats don't like. They either vote for the poison apple or they don't and help cause a major breakdown again. Basically, the government shut down one more time. When it happened on Trump's watch, I had to say that, trash bag's watch, it lasted for more than a month. We already got a lousy GDP. It went down. Stocks are going to crash a bit. A bit? Shit. Prices are going to go up. People are going to be losing jobs again. But does the Billionaire Boys Club care? No. They got the money to write things out. They personally got the money, either in paper wealth or not. If it's by paper wealth, then they've got a problem. What happens if the paperwork becomes not popular? What happens if the paper becomes obsolete? What happens if their paper wealth vanishes? Stock prices go down, or crash and burns. We get into a recession situation. People losing more and more jobs. No GDP being risen. Food prices out of there. People are trying to grow the food for us. Are they losing their jobs and losing their product as well? We can't sell it overseas. We can't get the money coming from other countries. They won't sell to us. They put tariffs on us as well. We have to spend more and more money that we probably don't have for the products we need, that we want. Flash drives like these, made overseas. Some of them are actually made over here, but most of the components are overseas. It cost me about 25 bucks just for a 256 gigabyte drive. Imagine this going up to 50 to 75. And I use this a great deal for storing stuff on a constant basis. I don't do the cloud. I do this. And it costs me a hell of a lot. Let me do you some math here. Calculating. Let's just say that I earn, hypothetically speaking, $1,700 a month. I got rent. I got rent to pay. Rent's about, well, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say about 450, or more than that. Okay, how about 600? That works for me. Okay, but better if it was 450. Okay, somewhere in between. I've got that much. There goes a third of my rent of my money I'm getting. The rent would raise according to what income is coming in, and they're supposed to raise about 7%, roughly 7 to 10%. COVID stalled it for about 2 to 3 years. I had a flat rate, and we actually had savings, and I was using it a great deal. I should have been saving it up. But then after COVID left, and we had the rent restored and risen again, it was chewing up a lot of my money. And then here's the entertainment packages out there. Oh yeah, $20 here, $30 there. Yeah, but how do you get access to it? If you had cheap enough internet entertainment or internet, be about 50, $60. Now when you're depending upon a cable system, about $300 or $400, $300 adds up, doesn't it? How does the guy get food? Oh no 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 no! We got power he needs to feed the beast, electrical beast. Let's say about 1750. That works for me. I'm trying to do the math in my head of what would be allowable because barely I am trying to demonstrate of how much food money I'm going to need. Whatever balance is going to be, I have to devote maybe about $20 or $30 a day for food. Standard month we have is between 30 and 31, right? With the exception in February of being the 28th. So, let me see, am I doing that? Of course, I could just, yeah, I should really get me a damn ledger. Works better instead of using electronics. Man. You ever used one of these things before? Styluses instead of using calculators? Okay, so let's see. So we got about $30 in 30 days, roughly. So I would spend about $900 in food and supplies. Energy bills fluctuate depending on how much energy I'm using, and if it's the wintertime, the rates are lower. If it's the summertime, they're increased. And I have to keep up with that. Sometimes I have to do partial payments. Sometimes it's about $40, $50 a month. I said before, $250 on the entertainment, and that would have been Spectrum. And I got to get a better deal than that. I don't like Dish. We don't have Dish. We suck on that one, so I'm stuck with what I've got. Okay, so basically 50 if I keep it down there at the lower. That's also 300 right there. But then there's the phones. I've only got a plan for 55. So basically I get 50, 55. But then rent. Oh, ouch. Well, let's say I'm doing about 450, roughly. roughly 800 and a few change. But also, I had to deal with the 900, which is the food. Ooh. Doesn't allow me much room for breathing. I mean, basically, if I have about 1750, roughly, so I have about $40 left in my pocket for savings, or anything else for that matter. That means if I have to partial pay energy only, internet would be shut off, and I don't keep paying these assholes. And the phone's the same way. And it's times like that that one would need to go to food banks to get the canned stuff to survive another day or two. But sometimes the food guys will do about once or twice a month if I'm lucky, or maybe every 2 weeks. If it's every 2 weeks, I could try barely surviving on that. That's cool. I know some food giveaway places do it once a month. Yeah, there was a few places I knew back then that did the deliveries once a month. I mean, you go over there, you get the grub, and that's about it. And see them next month. That's why people had to go to different places all over here in California. I live in the Antelope Valley, California. I live in the Wedge. I live in the armpit of Kern, sandwiched between Kern and LA. Well, actually, when I was able to get and living in Lancaster with my family, we went to several places. We had transportation. Out here in Rosebud, I don't have transportation. All I got is bus going in and out infrequently. But when I do, I have to make do with it. And if or when I do, uh, maybe I'll find a food delivery place. But the thing is, the giveaways happen on a weekend. Buses suck on the weekend. Church deliveries, actually, church giveaways happen. But to find out the days for that. I've kept my true figures hidden because I don't want anybody else having a conniption fit over this. I survive. That's the only thing I can tell you is I survive. Remember what I told you about the COVID? How much money they kept pumping out with the food stamps? That helped sustain me for a few years. Stretching it out by getting some bulk items, I would stretch that out. You know how much ramen would go for? Each pack, about a couple of bucks a pack. Yet I'd get a package of 24 through the bulk, through the food stamps. I would use that. I would live off of that. Coffee I would get through Amazon. Coffee is expensive these days. So is sugar. Creamery, the powdery stuff, forget it. I use milk. If I had to go buy canned food, I'll go buy canned vegetables and fruits if I need them. For orange juice, well, Tang is no longer, well, certain flavors are not on Snap anymore. So I have to spend money on that. I don't get the real juice, I get the powder stuff. Been that for a while. Things I have to go through. Here's the fun part, because I still hadn't told you how much I get per month. I still need money for pads for my dog. She's old, she's blind, she's set in her ways. If she happens to go outside, she's uncontrollable. And she wants to go back inside the house where she's comfortable, where she knows the territory. You would have to walk her outside for a little bit, which is rare these days. She wouldn't know the territory. She's got partial dementia in her head. Most nights she's freaking out, running around, and I have to calm her down, hold her a bit, cover her up, and she'll sleep when she can. Then I'll sleep when I can. If I hear her snoring, then I can snore. I get money for pads through the social I get. If I pads all over on the ground because she'll pee on the ground. If she can't get outside, she'll pee on the ground. I have to have pads. I'll clean those things up. I'll put them in garbage bags and take them out. I manage with what I've got. I don't buy as much enjoyment like everybody else would try to do. You see all the damn bears I had. We got to scrape a few bucks, I'll get one. But these are the things I live and survive on. I'm not living like a king. I got roaches all over the damn place. I still have to spend my money on roach traps. When it gets sunlight, there's not that much roaches. But I'll tell you, during the nighttime, oh, they come out like crazy. That's where the roach traps come in handy because they can try catching as many as they can. Things I do. I see and hear what's happening in Congress. We're not done with it yet. We're not done with it yet. Other things I'll talk about a little bit later right now. Just for right now, I still got any cream of wheat. No, last of the raisin bread. Yeah, that's better for breakfast. Till then.